and we're all going to try and go favored nations. We all want $25,000 each time we guest host. I said, that's okay. I said, I'm asking for $512, which was scale. I said, I'm doing it for $512. Okay. Well, who got the job?
So that you actually said, I'll do it for scale.
I said, I'll do it for scale. You know, when Chuck Yeager flew broke the sound barrier, the other guy, his captain, wanted $10,000. Chuck Yeager said, I'll just do it for my Army pay, $212 a month. All right, let him break the sound barrier. Case closed. You never take a job for the money.
Chuck Yeager, oddly, also had a great necrophilia bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, do you ever hear the story about Neil Armstrong when he stepped out on the moon? We all know Neil Armstrong, the first guy to walk on the moon.
Yeah, sure. That's right. I can say that to your audience. You all know Neil Armstrong across the first.
But the point, the reason I already said it, there was a reason for the exposition. Buzz Aldrin, the second guy.
Yeah.
This was told to me when I was doing From the Earth to the Moon. They landed on the moon because I was hanging out with astronauts.
Right.
You know. They landed on the moon, and right when they landed, Buzz Aldrin goes, all right, so who's going out first? They had covered every single thing 1 billion times, with the one exception of which guy goes out first.
Yeah,
and it was just assumed that Neil Armstrong would go out first because he was the flight commander.
Right.
But there was no precedent to this because nobody landed on the moon before.
Well, there you go.
And but that guy sat on that for like a year going, I know, right when we get there. Like Neil Armstrong's going to go, you know what? You've been so nice. Why don't you take this moment? And now that's why Buzz Aldrin hangs out at the Improv, I guess.
That's right.
You smoked a pipe for a while.
Oh, just tobacco pipe, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Because your poster, your face is at all improvs across. You go to the Pittsburgh Improv.
Oh, that's a picture from the...
There's a picture of you.
From 1920.
It looks like it's from the 20s.
Yeah, it is.
They've like sepia-toned photo.
Yeah, 71.
Everyone's like really got... In this photo, if you've ever been to an improv, you'll see it. Everyone's like in each other's ear, and you can just tell the entire room is full of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're the only one standing. You're wearing a scarf, I think, and you have this giant like pipe, almost like a Scotland Yard detective.
That might be true.
But it is odd to me. It's symbolic of where you are now. Like you're sort of above the din.
No, you're never above the din. No, I'm right in the din.
The photo, it's like those old photos of like Nixon had a brighter bulb above his head put in. I don't know if you know that, so he'd look better in the newspaper photos when he's in the.
Was that right?
Yeah, in the cabinet meetings, he had a brighter. Higher watted bulb.
I didn't know that.
So he was more lit than everyone around him. But in that photo I'm talking about, everyone's just, and then this, and then that, and you're just standing there against a pole by yourself with your pipe looking around,
I don't know.
surveying the scene.
I guess so, maybe.
I'll do it. You know what? If I stink, you can keep my $50. That's what you're saying, everybody.
That's why I tell guys, never take a job for the money. I never took a holding deal. They'll give you money to not work. Well, that doesn't work. Because you know what happens? You won't work. And at the end of that time, they'll go, we wasted how much on this guy? And we got nothing out of it?
So for me, 41 years old, like right now is when I start going.
You're only 41?
Huh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Right now I'm thinking,
jeez,
I'm really ready to take a gig for the money. So you're saying, hold the line. But it's easy for the guy hosting the Tonight Show since 87 to say, yeah, don't take a gig for the money.
No, what I mean is you just... Yeah, you take some jobs for the money, but I'm not saying you don't take a workman-like job for the money. This is a crowd that is going to be hard, and you're going to have to work. It's not a fun gig. I just mean don't betray what you do for the money.
Right.
Don't...
Stay that guy that went on stage every night for 7 years.
For example, a lot of times I'll go somewhere. Like if I go to Vegas and ticket sales are down, I say to the guys, you know something? Cut the ticket price in half, pay me half. The room sells out, everybody's happy. I've done that a bunch of times. I don't care. I don't need to be the highest paid guy in the room. I also want to make a little less than the highest paid guy in the room. My deal is to fill up the casino. I mean, I do that. I've done that at the Mirage.
How do you make everybody laugh if you don't have an act written down? I mean, I don't have an act written down. But I know I'm going to close with Christopher Walken or Tracy Morgan or Norm. You know what I mean?
You just carry it in your head. Like I say, if you do it 2 or 3 times a week, it becomes second nature.
I guess it's just repetition.
Yeah, it's just repetition. It's Dale Carnegie stuff. Pretty simple.
I guess I'm repeating myself, which means I'm officially wasting your time starting now.
Exactly.
How many vacation days a year?
I'm not a vacation guy.
But how many do you get allotted? Do you get an amount? on your contract?
No, I don't want vacation days. I'm not a vacation day guy.
You're just a different breed of guy. Like, who doesn't want vacation days?
You know, I never thought I was smarter than anyone else. I never thought I was better than anyone else. But I'm willing to wear you down. I will wait until you either going to want to get laid, go to sleep, go to the bathroom, go for a ride, take a walk.
Step out of line.
Then I come in, and that's when I work. And that's always worked for me. I'm always the guy, if I just wait here, it'll come around, and I'll grab the opportunity. You know, I can remember years ago, and I won't say who it was, when there was a big talk show war going on, and half a dozen of us had talk shows. I remember going home and turning on the news and seeing one of my competitors at a Laker game, and I said, you know, that guy's not going to have a monologue tomorrow night. And I watched him, and he didn't. He futzed around a little bit, but he didn't have a classically put-together monologue. And that's really the trick, you know. You can't succumb to the temptation of, you know, the free Laker tickets, whatever the heck it is.
You're like water eroding the stone.
You do. That's right. You just drip.
You're one of the nicer guys. And I'm not just washing your balls. I mean, I really...
Really? What was that?
I mean, really...
I never even heard that. Why would that make you... I wouldn't even want that. That's not
it's
even
very big on the internet when they go,
okay.
God, you had that guy on. And that was a lot. That was too much to handle. Yeah. But you really are like... I mean, you always do... I mean, I think Jim Norton and I are far enough opposites on the comedy scale that... for those comedy fans listening can go, if Jimmy vouches and I vouch, like we both, like you are a guy that will come in the dressing room before the show and just say, how you doing? How's everything? And that's something that was like so new to me when I first did the Tonight Show, keeping it so relaxed.
Yeah.
And there's got to be nights when you go out there and I don't think people realize how much you facilitate. You spoke about the Lakers, like Magic Johnson, keeping everyone involved.
Yeah, that's what you do. If a
guest sucks, it's your job to make them not suck.
And my job is to not be funnier than the guest, or there are shows where the host overshadows the guest, and that works for them. But eventually,
or belittle the guest,
or those guests maybe don't come back.
Right.
You know, I think people have to like you. And that's really the trick. But the expense of making people like you makes other people dislike you because people misinterpret kindness for weakness, which always sort of makes me laugh.
So you really just, the bottom line is you just, if the ship goes down, it's not going to be because anyone outworked you.
I hope not.
Jay, I don't see how that's possible. If you don't take sick days and you're willing to walk into bars at 18 years old and going, I'll work for free.
You know, you have to do what works for you. You know, I remember we had this conversation on Seinfeld's comedian movie, and people seemed fascinated by it, so I mentioned it here. It doesn't seem that odd to me. When I was a kid, I always worked two jobs. I worked at McDonald's, I worked at a Ford dealership, and I would pocket one money and spend the other money. And then eventually I worked at a car dealership, and I was a comedian, and I have the comedian money in one pocket and the car money in the other pocket. And this job, I've never touched a dime of money from The Tonight Show. I live on the money I make as a stand-up, because that's what I am. I'm a stand-up comedian. That's the money I spend. That's the money I use. This money all goes... And at the end, I'll open that little passbook and go, oh, that's pretty good. This is
a lot of commas.
Yes, that's all right. Can't complain about that.
Anything you want to promote
That's
coming
what you
up?
have to do. No, I don't want to promote anything.
No, I mean, but everybody on your show, you got to hit these bullet points of our asinine, like, if you could really mention Brea.
Oh, yeah,
really
you get that all the time.
It.
Yeah, you get that all the time.
You know, so I just thought...
My favorite is when you have a comic, like, what's today? July, what is it? Whatever day we do this. Let's say July 26th. And they go, I'm going to be at so-and-so December 3rd. Could you mention that?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, sure. Really? Who's your agent? That's your next job, December 3rd.
Yeah. Your next job is tomorrow, so I'm going to let you get back to work. I'm sure. I will say this as an anecdote to the listeners.
Yes.
I did Access Hollywood Live, which is on the same lot.
Yeah.
I was done at 9:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
As I was leaving the lot, your car was already here.
Well, I'm here at 7:30.
Why?
Because you got to write 14 minutes every day.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for helping me out. Thanks, Jay. You can catch Jay Leno on The Tonight Show right now. Just turn it on. It's on right now. Thanks, bud. Put your name on it. There are too many what-ifs when you go to the post office, people. What if there's traffic? What if it's closed when you get there? What if you go to the post office and someone has gone postal? What if there's no place to park? What if you look at the wanted signs on the wall and it's some weird movie that hasn't been made yet by the Coen brothers? Your face is up on that wall as most wanted, but no one told you yet. That's why you go to Stamps.com, to keep your face off the post office wall. With Stamps.com, anything you do at the post office, you can now do from the convenience of your own desk. Get exact postage for any letter or package whenever you need it 24/7. Use your own computer. Use your own printer. You don't need to use anybody else's anything. Unlike the post office, Stamps.com never closes. Middle of the night, you realize you got to pay a light bill. Oops. You know what I'll do? I'll make my own stamps. Thank you very much at 3 in the morning. Right now, use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, for this special offer. No risk trial, plus $110 bonus offer. That's kind of cool. I mean, $110. Come on. Includes a digital scale to weigh your letters and packages, and up to $55 free postage. We use it here at Mohr Stories. We've saved a ton of dough, and everything has gotten easy quickly. I can say that with emphasis. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in Mohr, M-O-H-R. That's Stamps.com. Enter Mohr.